Many survivors have drawn what they experienced on August 6, 1945. That day 75 years ago, the United States released a nuclear bomb that exploded approximately 600 meters above the city of Hiroshima. 90,000 to 120,000 people died from the blast. 3 days later, Nagasaki was bombed, taking the lives of another 60,000 to 70,000. People died instantaneously from the intense heat released by the bomb, and in the following days, weeks, and months from injuries and acute radiation sickness. The survivors of the bombings came to be called hibakusha, literally survivor of the atomic bombs. Kunihiko Iida is one of them. He was in Hiroshima when the bomb fell.
私は3歳で被爆して、ほとんど寝たきりの生活でした。で、小学校にやっとどうにか入ったんですけれども、ずっと病気の切れ間がない。最近では、咳喘息をやりました。それから脳腫瘍の手術は2回やりました。
Soon after the bombings, Japanese and American researchers went to the destroyed cities with different objectives. The Japanese focused on the bomb's medical effects on survivors. The Americans wanted to understand how people died from radiation, which could be useful during future nuclear wars. In 1947, the US formed the Atomic Bomb Casualty Commission, or ABCC, to conduct long-term studies of the victims of the bombings. In 1975, it was reorganized and renamed the Radiation Effects Research Foundation, or RERF. 120,000 hibakusha were enrolled in studies that would track their health for many decades. The US chose not to provide medical treatment to the survivors of the bombings, as it felt this could be seen as an admission of fault.
ABCC は被爆者の間であんまり評判は良くないです。私から見れば非常に研究熱心であった。研究熱心で素晴らしいことをされようとしていたと。被爆者にはそういった治療がなかったということに不満を持っている人は多いです。
I think, human dimension or humanity side has been the second thing for this institute, especially when this started. Highlight is the way science being conducted, really meticulous and very thorough and very well considered.
Scientists use detailed methods to measure radiation and understand its impact on survivors. A major focus of the research was determining how much radiation survivors were exposed to, which depended on their distance from ground zero, what type of building they were in, and even the positioning of their bodies in relation to the explosions. Over the course of decades, the lifespan study allowed scientists to determine the links between radiation dose and cancer risk. And the findings have helped establish global limits for the maximum dose of radiation people can be exposed to, for instance, in medical settings.
All the lay people go to the hospital for diagnosis is getting benefit from survivors, so to say. So their contribution to the world, survivors' contribution to the world is really great. We have to follow the survivor to the last member. And that means, we will be compiling the lifelong history of experience of atomic radiation.
Biological samples taken from 30,000 participants over 7 decades await genetic analysis, which could help pinpoint radiation's effect on molecules in the body.
We still do not have any direct evidence that, this cancer has so-and-so mutation, and which is characteristic to radiation-induced mutation. So we can conclude this cancer is mutated at so-and-so location of the genome.
In 2017, NIWA presented a plaque of appreciation to those who participated in the research, expressing regret that they weren't offered treatment.
You really have to take consideration of humanity side, the human dimension. Otherwise, science means nothing to them, or maybe negative thing to them. The only thing you can do is have connection, personal connection, individual connection to whatever the person you are dealing with.
続けるべきで、しかもその研究内容を大々的に公表するべきだと思うんです。放映権の役割は放射線の影響を乗り越えて健康を獲得するということにあるかもしれませんが、研究結果を報告することによって平和づくりにつながると、私はその効果の方が大きいというふうに考えております。本当の原爆の悲惨さを伝える人が少ないんです。人は誰でも原爆の本当の恐ろしさ、原爆が体に与える影響のものすごさ、そういったことが分かれば、二度と原爆を使おうという考えにはならないと思うんですけれども、私はその原爆の本当の悲惨さを伝えていかなければならない。それが使命だと思っております。